Jesuits behind Zionism. The greatest hatred and chaos is because of complete twisted, inaccurate, false and corrupt ideas about what is going on and who is behind. Not hidden. That's why it's very important to see what is really behind ideologies like Zionism, Christian Zionism and the Jesuit as the Vatican army making everything to have their messianic fanatic agenda fulfilled, but without falling into hatred, judgment, more violence, chaos and division. Not every Zionist is a Jew. Not every Jew is a Zionist. It's not us who say that. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist, Biden say. And further on, I'm a Zionist. Well, if Biden say this, then speaking out about Zionism can't be related to Jews, right? Further on, Zionism is about pursuit of an independent Jewish state. The word is derived from Zion, a hill near the city of Jerusalem, but nowhere near all Jews live in Israel, and not all inhabitants of Israel are Jews, are Jewish. That's very important to see, that there are different people are working on that whole idea. In fact, Zionism is directly opposed to the Jewish religion. We are not saying that, but even considered as heresy in Judaism, because after the scripture, the Holy Land only comes after the return of Messiah. This is very important to comprehend. This is after the scripture. The Holy Land only comes after the return of the Messiah, not before. Let's be clear. In this video is based on historical facts. The mainstream are not disputing. All the quotes are coming from others, not from us. We are just compiling the evidence. And don't come with the argument of this video is against Jew. Otherwise, you just admit you have no clue about the whole Jewish history and not a clue about Zionism. Because Jewish Zionism comes from late 19th century, when Christian Zionism is from 50, 80, way before. And even when Ignatius Lopez Loyola first appeared in Jerusalem, it has been 500 years since that holy journey that began ended with the holy city. (5023). And this is not us who invent that. This is all even in the as the Jesuit order of the synagogue of the Jew. Okay. Jewish Zionists are not the majority of Christian Zionists. There are over 50 million only in America. Also saying criticizing Zionism is anti-Semitic is just admitting have no clue what Semitism is. And we made an article about that this argument can no longer be used. Here we have the article. We will put one link in it, and you will have all the links in the description. So Semites is a linguistic region, and this is the Semitic linguistic region. This can't be exclusive Jewish or Israel. This is very important to comprehend. So even to say, even Arabs, Arabic, Hebrew, Amharic, Akkadian, these are all Semitic language. So it can't be related to the Jew. That's very important. That would be racism in this sense, but they can't do it because Jews are part of the Jewish religion. This is not a ethnic. It's not an ethnic group. That's very important also to see. But let's get back to the Jesuit, right? Sorry, Christian Zionism first. So we have a couple of links we also put in the description. You will all find them under there. But it's very important to comprehend that Christian Zionism is something, and it's not us who say that. Christian Zionism can be defined as Christian support Zionist cause to return the Jewish people of the biblical homeland in Israel. In this belief among the Christians, the return to Jews for Israel is with the biblical prophecy, and it's necessary for Jesus to return earth as a king. Christian support for Israel is not a recent development. Its political roots reach far back as 1880. Well, that's not true. That's way older. Christian Zionism through their voluntary work, but of course they don't want to see it there because they want to make it that Jewish Zionism is the main thing. But we will show you more. Israel and the Jewish cause have to that the stalwart friend of Israel, and this we will go back later. The philosophical foundation of Christian Zionism goes back to ancient time. They are associated with the age-old belief in an epic struggle between the force of good and evil and a premotion that the world would soon end. Yeah, they have this idea quite a lot of time. And there we go back to the Templars even. There we have also the whole idea that the Templars want to go to Jerusalem, and the reason why they want to go back to Jerusalem and create their empire. So let's go to the Jesuit. The Jesuit ultimate goal is to rule the world with the Pope of their making from Solomon's rebuilt Temple of Jerusalem. That's the ultimate goal. The Jesuits have always wanted that. When Ignatius Loyola first started the order, one of the first things he did was he wanted to go to Jerusalem and set up the Jesuit headquarters there. So he went there, he tried to do it and failed. Come back, went to school, started Latin studies, etc. So the foundation of the Jesuit is exactly this. And way before the Jewish Zionism start. But a little bit more about Loyola. He is a soldier. The whole Jesuit is God's Marines. That's the Jesuit. It's an army. And they infiltrated everything. Maybe one day we're going to compilate really like what the Jesuits really did. But we're exposing this since 10 years. A lot of people get distracted by Freemason, by the so-called Jew. Jew is invented people. That's fact. We don't say that. Again, University of Tel Aviv, Shlomo Sand, is exposing this subject quite a lot. let's go on. Let's see here. Jesuit in the Holy Land. They have the whole, they even have a whole website about it, about what they are working on to get back to the Holy Land. So it's not a mystery that the Jesuit even invented the Freemason. And this is on educationjesuit.info. The Freemason was founded by Jesuit. Furthermore, structure adopted by the Jesuit and Freemason is identical. It's based on respect for vow of the cult of secretly. Regarding the question, can be a Freemason and a Christian, the response of men of church differs. In regarding Ratzinger, the German episode Pope Clement, Benedict, blah, 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 agreed on the incompatibility of the two concepts. Other men, faith, are then Pastor blah 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 perfectly be Freemason. The priest of Geneva certainly lived to his dual belonging. He was ordained in 1996 as being a member of the Grand Orion since 2001. Well, Jesuits, they can be in every position. They can even contradict. Even the Pope today was saying that as a Catholic you can't be Freemason, but they are. This is how the whole corrupt thing is working. Yes, let's go further on. And then 5062, we have Thomas Brightman, who started persuade himself and others that the work of his Apocalypse was written under divine inspiration in he make the Church of England, Laodicean Church, and the angels that God loved Church of Geneva, and the Kirk of Scotland. Yeah, Church of Geneva, we come back to this. Oh, no, it's right here. And the Church of Geneva is a Protestant church, but with the symbol of the Jesuit. Here we have it. Let's go see if you have a link on that. Here. We have to translate this in English. There we go. Face to the birth of Protestantism in the 60s, the Catholic Church developed two strategies. The fight against the Reformation, the transformation of the Catholicism, and institutions seem to summarize the two policies. The Society of Jesus, which lead mission against the Protestant, participate in controversies, created the college to train the Catholic elite. But placing Protestant and Jesuit in a confrontation systematic is one of the priori historical, which here, largely here. But all true, it has been regularly taken and developed. This opposition is largely false. Firstly, because the primary objective of the Society of Jesus is not the fighting against the Protestantism, but the renovation of the Church thanks to the new spirituality, a spirituality partly common to Luther and the Protestant reformers, something that historians and theologians have been rediscovered for several decades. So they are coming all back to this same apocalyptic bullshit, and use all the means to push their ideas. But this was Christian Zionism. This had nothing to do with Jew at all. And here we have it also. Again, the Jesuit who writes or editing the Talmud. And there are two Talmud. There is the Jerusalem Talmud and there is the Babylonian Talmud. And in the Jerusalem Talmud, you find nothing about the third temple. But in the Babylonian Talmud, obstruct the heavily censored Prague edition of the tractate Barakut of the Babylonian Talmud, published in Prague, 70. The Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud, is written in 7028 with the Jesuit. Was the product of the collaboration between Franciscus Hasselbauer, the Jesuit censor of Hebrew books in Bohemia, and Jonathan Eibenschutz, the prodigy of the Prague rabbinate. So there you have it. The Jesuit rewrite the Talmud. Did we miss something? Let's see. No. No. Okay. Now to the old Christian Zionism is that Israel is reborn. His generation will not pass away. The rapture, the tribulation, Christ's return, the great war. Yeah, what we see now in everybody against Israel is exactly what they want to do. Everybody have to be against Israel because they want a great war in Israel. We come back to this later. But then the Christ return, then you have the judgment and the millennium kingdom. Okay? Now, they try to twist this thing. So you have the church age, you have the rupture, you have the tribulation, but in the middle, Christ is coming. Restoring the Jew to Palestine, conversing raiment of Israel, temple rebuilt, priesthood sacrifice, cult ritual restored. And we talked about this already in the end time video. We will put also the link in the description. The question of the whole ritual sacrifice that they need to start there again, saying that if the ritual starts, then all human would be considered animals again, and they would make daily animal sacrifice. But again, we have talked about this subject already. So there are quite a lot of so-called Jews who are against Israel, and not only Jews. There are there's a lot of criticism in the against the Christian Zionism, because again, who is really pushing? Did we? I don't think we saw this. Let's see here under. Maybe it will come and be submitted, but Christian Zionists are also more conservative in Israel than many Jews. They favor Israel maintaining of the settlement in the West Bank and were opposed to the Israeli disengagement from Gaza Strip. Some prominent Christian Zionists have been highly critical of Israel government policy of giving over parts of Israel to Palestinian people. Christian Zionists, like followers of the Israeli right, believe that Israel should never cede any section of Israel to the Palestinians because Israel was given the Jew by God. Israel was given to the Jew by God. And again, this is not a conspiracy website. This is the Jewish library. Okay? So, not we are saying this, but again, we can clearly see that you have way more Christian Zionism fanatics in this whole agenda. And to say this is against the Jew, again, is complete twisted fact. So many wonder, because why you have so much support of America. We come also this a little bit later, but first of all, just to remind the people that the symbol of the Jews is not this one. This one is the real symbol with 7, not with 9. This also is coming from the new Talmud, from the Babylonian Talmud, and is for the ritual in the third temple. This again have nothing to do with this. Everything is twisted once again, but the real symbol of the Jew, how they call it, is this one, with 7 candles. And the David star is the seal of Solomon. Always was. And not only for the Jews. It was a triangle seal of Solomon, also believed to serve as visual talisman in medieval Jewish, Christian and Islamic legends. Like the seal of Solomon was a magical sign ring and have to been possessed by King Solomon, which variously gave him the power, command a demon, genies or genie, or to speak with animals as the proper of both amulet and talisman. So this is black magic. This is have nothing to do with what supposed is to be we choose. Netanyahu, for every one Jewish Zionists, there are 30 Christian Zionists, and Netanyahu exploit this. And this is fact. There are over 50,000 Christian Zionists only in America. Since the first published 1999, the Scottfield Reference Bible has made uncompromising Zionists out of 10 of million of Americans. When the John Heeg, the founder of Christian United for Israel, Kofi, say that 50 million evangelic Bible-believing Christians unite with 5 million American Jews standing together on behalf of Israel. It was the Scottfield Bible that he was talking about. Not least amongst the many victims of Scottfield Bible are the 5 million Palestinian refugees who right to return to favorably opposed by American Zionist Christian thanks to the indoctrination by Scottfield unholy book. They believe that Palestine belongs not to the Palestinians, many of them who are following Christians, but exclusively to God's chosen people. That's it. This is the conversion of the whole Americans into believing if they don't support Israel, they will go to hell. They will burn in hell. This is what they say. Give money. Then we have to show that. Where is it? Here. Show your solidarity. 100% of donation will go to Israeli first responders. Donate now. Christian Unite for Israel. Donation, watching, showing, briefing, bearing, helping, sharing. And then also here, fight back against Hamas supporters in the US. There are no Hamas supporters in the US. People are talking about the injustice that is happening in Palestine. Again, this is completely Americanized, and there are millions who support this, shouting out, more war. And yeah, you find everything on internet. We don't need to show this. But again, all the American president supported this idea all the time. And we personally always wondered what is the relation, what is really going on, why they get so unconditional support. And even this was not, we didn't get that, but Martin Luther King was a notable Christian supporter of Israel and Zionism. And also you have all these black Hebrew Israelites movements who are a sect, considered a sect, and not to confuse them with black Jews or Jews of color. This is completely fanatized. Believe that they are true Israelites. They think they are the 12th tribe of Israel and the people of color. And this is also what we exposed all the time about the whole Rastafari and the people who have no clue what kind of symbolism and nasty agenda, fanatic, messianic, end-time Armageddon bullshit. This is all included. And there are many all over. This is you find this also in Asia, in South America, Argentina. Also, same colors, of course. There's a lot. They have together, but many countries who are religious, they are prepared of this whole end time thing, and they all participate. If they are even happy, if in Israel there is going to have war, they are happy because they are waiting for the Messiah. Christian Zionists are also more concerned. We have read this before, but that's why also Trump and Pence and all these folks are completely fanatic about Israel, and that's why also Trump pushed to put the American embassy to Jerusalem. What was of course a huge push into Palestine, and Trump just said that if he gets back to White House, he will just cancel all the money that was spent on Palestine. And of course, Kosher, who the stepson of Trump, Netanyahu slept at Kosher's place. They know each other very well. He says even in an interview, how long do we know each other and so on. So they was completely behind this whole agenda. Further on, the whole conflict could bring back Trump, what many expect still. Well, but this is exactly how it started. Advocacy of the restoration of the Palestine as national homeland for the Jew was first heard amongst self-identified Christian group in the 50s following the Protestant Reformation. So you have the whole idea behind, and then Yehuda al-Kalai, and then you have Theodor Herzl. Just something maybe when we are already at Netanyahu's, let's see if you come back to Netanyahu. No, we show that now, because this is also a very important. Netanyahu is not religious, yeah.
Religion and religious identity as a mask.
Again,
Yahu's not a religious man. Theodor Herzl or Ben Gurion or Ariel Sharon, they weren't rabbis, just like ISIS. They cynically and opportunistically cut and paste whatever they want from religious texts to manipulate and mislead and rationalize their completely secular project of Zionism. They only tolerate religious Jews in Israel because they're the only ones who have babies. And the secular project of Zionism has always been plagued by a demographics problem. Atheists don't procreate very much, and most Zionists are mostly atheists. I think half of Israelis identify as secular, and more than half say that you don't even have to believe in God to be a Jew, and about a quarter of them don't believe in God. That's why religious Jews don't even regard Zionists as Jews, because they're deviant, they're corrupt, and they're obsessed with power. And they're corrupt with power when they get it. They're immoral with power. They're vicious. Again, just like ISIS. Because it's an extremist political ideology that uses religion and religious identity as a mask.
Yeah, that's the case. Yeah, not because they say they are from a Jewish family that they are really religious. So they don't believe in God. Even with Theodor Herzl, Yeah, Theodor Herzl was an Austro-Hungarian Jewish journalist and political activist who was the father of the modern political Zionism. Herzl formed the Zionist organization and promoted Jewish immigration to Palestine in an effort to a Jewish state. This is incorrect, but we will get on it. The founder of the modern Zionism and the visionary of the Jewish state spoke neither Hebrew or Yiddish, had no Jewish education, and was not throughoutly secular as to appear in the fin de siècle Paris and Vienna, and the very image of dashing boulevardier. Theodor Herzl was never religious. He dreamed of the Messiah when he was on his deathbed. Just to make the story a little bit, no. This is political. Zionism is political, have nothing to do with religious. They use religious arguments. And here we have it, this Zionist Congress in Switzerland. And look, Christian Zionist Congress in Basel. Yeah. And the idea then was Uganda. Again, we are not saying this, but on the first Jewish Congress, 90-something, the 03, the idea was, the proposal for Israel was Uganda. They searched for a safe place, and we can't blame that. We can't blame nobody who searched a safe place. That's not the thing. But they was talking about Uganda. The idea of Palestine came way later, and we will show you more about that. And this is, of course, the transfer agreement. Don't know if people heard about that, but this was to enable 55,000 German Jews to flee to Palestine. But at the same time, this was an agreement between the Third Reich and the Zionists. They put that in place. And without this money, they would not be able to make Israel what it is today. This was 100 million Deutschmark. Probably, if we would compare it to today, it would be 500 million. No, then was 500 million, and today it would be, of course, billions. But this enabled to create the Jewish state. And the idea of to make this in Palestine, well, as we saw before, they had many other proposals. They want to go to Madagascar, they want to Tasmania, and only then they start to. No, 42 was maybe another solution because Palestine was not enough place or was too complicated or whatever. But Palestine was already in there for sure, and. But again, we are not saying this. You can download the book. This is Edwin Black. Is a Jewish author who discovered that, and you find it also on YouTube. But of course, this is very painful. This is very painful because in a kind they make a contract with the devil to create Israel. You can watch it up for yourself. But again, this. No matter the idea or what they ever did or the fear or we don't say this was bad or wrong or whatever. They have to, but just to know on what basis the things are done today. So why the land call it Israel? The very name Israel can be translated El First For, as suggested the collection of Orient about the worshiping Canaanite deity El. Yeah? Israel. So it would be the earth of El. And this was the Canaanite Phoenician gods, and there was also Baal. Baal, little figure, but in fact, this is what Baal is. Meaning the Lord, and applied to a number of different deities throughout the ancient time. And that's why also the Congress was made in Basel, Switzerland. Basel is the same thing. So, but in Israel, in Hebrew, mean Eretz Yisrael. And if you look, Eretz means the land. Yisrael, land is real. No, of course, this is not the translation. It is Isis, Ra, and El, the land of, and this is what Israel means. It is completely, right. We talked about that, but just to say that they claim that Israel is like 2,000, I don't know how much times written in the Bible, but it never say where is it. They are compiled the different verses from the Bible to claim that it is there. And they transform it, of course, as they wish on the go to make it look that it's legit. Israel is the Hebrew name Yisrael, meaning God, content, or to struggle with God. Those identify with the name are God's people, chosen for a purpose, and that is what Israel ultimately means. God's people, not a land. And again, the Holy Land should become after the Messiah, not before. And this is what is written in their own scripture. And the Zionists, they try to legit this in another way. We don't say that people have no right to be in a place, a safe place, but everyone have. So, and again, also to comprehend what happened with the Bible in the 60 centuries or 70 centuries, is that the Testament was written, the Holy Bible was, the New Testament, Holy Bible, was written by Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon was a Jesuit. He was the one who made Shakespeare. These have nothing to do with religious guys. He was Freemason, Jesuit. He practiced the black magic with Rosicrucian and so on. And this one is the guy who wrote the New Testament. And then also we have still this picture here in the Vatican, in the Snake Hall, or what they call the Audience Hall. And this picture represents atomic after the image, an explosion after near Jerusalem, atomic bomb exploding near Jerusalem, and the Vatican are worshipping this in the audience hall behind like this. So what you really need more to see who is really behind this whole agenda and apocalyptic bullshit than the whole Vatican, Jesuit. And of course, some always take the scapegoat, and play so people can point finger on it, but this is always to distract. So it's very important to know how we are not getting distracted by this whole thing, because in the end, Yishai Sarid, he asked, will build of the third temple destroy the Jewish state? This is Al Monitor, independent trust, the coverage of the Middle East. This is not us who's saying that, but we are asking that because this is the idea, finally, that everything get destroyed to start everything from ashes again. So who will really be chosen for this final sacrifice? This is the important question, because everyone who gets killed in this whole messianic mess, is too much, no matter who is. So Zionists, they think they are themselves the Messiah and have to do God's work. They don't want to wait anymore, and they pretend now they can do God's work. Zionism is political theology and not religious at all. There is an international fanatic messianic mission going on. This is what is behind even Zionism, and clearly pushed by the Jesuit. How the world is going to end? There will be an enormous war in the Middle East. Israel is pushed against the wall. America is coming by their side. Everything got destroyed, and the Messiah will come. If you are not on the side of Israel, you are not on God's side, and you will burn in hell. This is how the people get indoctrinated in this kind of programs for hundreds of years. But this is an idea that comes from not even 100 years. This also we have to say this stuff is here since 3,000 years, blah, blah, blah. This is not true. And the question many ask, why is there so much unconditional support from America and the Western countries? Well, because it is an American Western idea what is going on there. Maybe this helped to comprehend a little bit more what is really played. Of course, there is way more to say about the subject, but for this we have still other videos. We will put the links down there, but yeah, of course we have the black and white magic, secret society Jesuits, already a while back that we talk about that, and no Jesus myth without Jesuit. Also the whole Anonites and the Jesuit, Trump, and Trump is Jesuit, by the way. We exposed that in this video. Also the end time plan, Apocalyptic, there you have a lot of stuff inside, and of course also what is quite actual is Hamas, Israel's controlled opposition. Of course they created, they financed, they controlled it for the purpose of Israel. And I said, this whole division and hatred and support and not support and so on, this is exactly what they need for their plan. Why do you think today the whole Western media and so on, they condemn Israel, not really the mainstream, but the politicians also? Why you think is that? This is all part of the plan, because Israel have to be isolated to really make the hell out of everything. This is what is going on. Thanks for watching.